Hollywood and the streaming platforms. Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson
Kind of saw the curvature of the earth. I mean, that's kind of the same deal, right?
No, it's not.
is suing Disney for streaming the film online at the same time it opened it.
What happens when one of the world's most celebrated actresses challenges the might of a media empire? What does it mean when a star known for playing superheroes becomes one in real life by taking a public stand that could change the way the entertainment industry operates? Scarlett Johansson's legal battle with Disney wasn't just another Hollywood headline. It became a defining moment that forced the film industry to pause, reflect, and reckon with the evolving landscape of streaming, fair pay, and contractual integrity. In an age where content is consumed in theaters, on phones, on laptops, and in living rooms around the world, Johansson's stand sent a powerful message. Artists cannot be left behind while corporate giants race to adapt and profit from the future. Scarlett Johansson had long been a major figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From her debut as Natasha Romanoff in Iron Man 2 to the ensemble cast of the Avengers series, she was a key piece of Marvel's box office dominance. Fans had called for years for her character, Black Widow, to receive a standalone film. And when it finally arrived, expectations were high. Black Widow was more than just a superhero flick. It was meant to be a tribute to a character who had never quite received the spotlight she deserved. But instead of celebrating the long-awaited release, Johansson found herself in a complex and contentious legal showdown that would redefine how streaming and box office revenue intersect in Hollywood. The issue arose from the decision to release Black Widow simultaneously in theaters and on Disney Plus through Premier Access. This hybrid model had gained traction during the pandemic, as studios sought ways to make films accessible to audiences unable or unwilling to return to movie theaters. For Disney, it was a strategic decision, one that would increase streaming revenue and potentially bolster its stock by adding subscribers to its growing platform. But for Johansson, the decision came with significant financial and professional consequences. Her contract, she alleged, clearly stipulated that the film would receive an exclusive theatrical release, and her compensation was largely tied to the film's box office performance. With the movie available for $30 on Disney, plus the same day it hit theaters, box office numbers inevitably suffered. Johansson's legal team argued that Disney breached her contract. They claimed the studio prioritized its streaming ambitions over its obligations to her as a lead actor and producer. Moreover, they contended that Disney failed to renegotiate terms once it became clear the hybrid release model would affect her earnings. This wasn't about entitlement or ego. This was about a written agreement being ignored to benefit a corporation's broader goals. And Scarlett Johansson decided not to let that slide. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court outlined in detail how Disney's actions allegedly harmed Johansson's ability to earn tens of millions in bonuses. It argued that by making Black Widow available on Disney Plus Premier Access on day one, Disney had knowingly reduced the theatrical revenue pool. Instead of negotiating a new deal to reflect this change, as Warner Brothers did with its talent when it shifted its 2021 films to HBO Max, Disney moved forward without updating Johansson's compensation structure. It was, at its core, a question of ethics and respect. Was a contract just a formality to be rewritten on the fly? Or did it still mean something when the industry's rules were rapidly changing? Disney responded quickly and harshly. In a statement that stunned many in the industry, the company claimed Johansson had already earned $20 million from the film and accused her of being callous to the broader effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The response was widely criticized. Many saw it as an attempt to publicly shame Johansson, framing her as greedy and out of touch during a global crisis. But the tactic backfired. The statement came across as defensive, dismissive, and unprofessional, especially given Johansson's long history with the studio and her contributions to Marvel's enormous success. Rather than discrediting Johansson, Disney's statement ignited a wave of support for her. Fans, fellow actors, legal experts, and industry unions spoke out in defense of her actions. Prominent actors like Elizabeth Olsen voiced their support, and the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, condemned Disney's response, calling it an attempt to weaponize Johansson's salary and shame her for asserting her legal rights. The conversation was no longer just about Scarlett Johansson. It was about a much bigger issue: how artists are treated when business models shift without their input. The industry had already been in flux due to the pandemic, and this lawsuit forced a deeper conversation about the role of streaming. For decades, box office numbers were the gold standard for measuring a film's success and an actor's value. Contracts were written around those numbers. But streaming changed everything. Suddenly, a film could be released on a platform and make money through subscriptions rather than ticket sales. Yet those profits weren't being shared in the same way, especially not with talent whose deals were written under old paradigms. In Scarlett Johansson's case, the lawsuit also highlighted gender dynamics in Hollywood. Male actors with similar box office weight had often been accommodated or renegotiated with when business models shifted. Johansson, despite her decade of success in the MCU, was met with resistance and public shaming. For many, it was another reminder of how differently women are treated in negotiations, even at the highest levels. Her courage to stand up for herself, knowing it could damage her relationship with a major studio, resonated deeply across the industry. Behind the scenes, legal teams for both Johansson and Disney worked to resolve the conflict while managing media fallout. Disney faced increasing pressure from talent representatives and agencies, many of whom warned that trust in the studio was eroding. Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit became a cautionary tale, a warning shot that artists would not accept being sidelined in an era where data and streaming profits were hidden behind corporate walls. In the time since, more stories have surfaced about similar disputes, and studios are being held accountable in ways they haven't before. The era of quiet compliance is fading. The era of collaboration, transparency, and fairness is beginning to take root. And Scarlett Johansson helped lead that change. Her legal battle with Disney may have started with a contract dispute over Black Widow, but it ended as a landmark moment in entertainment history. It's a story about bravery, resilience, and the belief that doing the right thing is always worth it, even when the odds are stacked against you. So the next time you watch Black Widow or see Scarlett Johansson in a new project, remember the strength it took to step into the legal spotlight and challenge a corporate giant. Remember that even the biggest stars face battles behind the scenes. And remember that courage doesn't always come in the form of superpowers. Sometimes it looks like a woman demanding to be treated fairly, not just as a performer, but as a partner. If you found this story powerful, eye-opening, or inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We bring you in-depth, meaningful content about the stories shaping entertainment today, from behind-the-scenes battles to game-changing moments. Your support helps us continue uncovering the truth, one headline at a time. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.